Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog where I'm gonna be reading City of Dragons. So City of Dragons is book 3 in the Wild Chronicles, which is part of the Realm of the Elderlings series world, and it is the 12th book in that bigger series. And this is fantasy, and I will link the videos for the previous books that I read in the series down in the description if you want to check those out before checking out this one. And I really like the world that the series is set in, the bigger series and also just this smaller series. I really like the world. I really like the magic that we get to see and learn about, and I mostly really like the characters. The only issue that I sometimes or mostly have with the series is the pacing is sometimes really slow for me, but in the series, mostly it's actually working for me because I do really like the characters, so I'm very invested in them, at least in books 1 and 2. We'll see how it goes in book 3, but I do really love the world and the magic, and this one has dragons. Obviously there are dragons in the title, which I also love. I absolutely love dragons, so super fun to follow them. And yeah, I just want to say that there are definitely spoilers in this vlog for what happens in this book. And having said that, let's get into it. Okay, so I made it to page 153, which is a bit over 1/3 into this book, which is shorter than I expected. Every time I look at this book, I am shocked at how short it is for this series that it is. But yeah, I made it to, like I said, a little over 1/3. And in the prologue, we see Sintara and Icefire, and we see that they are attacked by people who were basically sent by the Duke of Chalced. I don't know if that's how you say that, but it's the guy that's sick and he wants the dragon parts because they are supposed to be able to heal. So he is the one that Cedric wanted before to sell dragon parts to. And yeah, they're attacked, but they manage to make it out and kill their attackers. And then we see Selden, and he is he's also very sick, and he someone wants to buy him, and they call him Dragon Man, I think. So I'm assuming the people who are buying him are working for that duke, and they think that because he has this connection to the dragons, maybe his blood or whatever will also heal. I don't know if that's what's happening, but I assume. But we see that, and then we see the other dragons, the ones that found Kelsingra. They are still not in the city because it's hard to get there if you don't fly, and they don't fly, but they are practicing. They are trying to fly, all of them except for Sintara, because at the end of the previous book she tried to fly, and we didn't know if she had made it or not, but we learned that she didn't, and she fell, and she is now embarrassed and she doesn't want to try again. And Rapskull, who was the one who found Kelsingra with his dragon, he says that he wants to show something that is in Kelsingra to Timara, because he has to show her something, but she's been busy getting food for Sintara and all of that. But she says that if she can find time, yeah, sure, she'll go with him. But she did go there once, and she found it very unsettling because people can hear voices and stuff happening when they go to Kelsingra, so they're all very unsettled by it. And then we see Elise and Leftrain. They are at Kelsingra, and then Rapskull and his dragon go there to get them back. And Rapskull he touches a statue, and he gets entranced kind of, and basically he's losing himself in the elderling memories. And Leftrain says that that's very dangerous because he can just literally lose himself. And Rapskull says that he knows what he's doing. That's actually what he has to do, because why would the memories be saved there if not to be used? So that's happening. And then we see Hest getting there's someone who goes to his house, and he's like beat up, which was very satisfying to read. And he basically, like, the person who's there is like collecting or going trying to collect Cedric's debt, because Cedric like did say that he was gonna deliver the dragon parts to the Duke, and he never did. And he works for Hest, so the people just went to Hest to get it. And he's like, well, if Cedric is not gonna deliver, then you are gonna deliver. And all, like, as satisfying as it was to see Hest being beat up, I hated every second of being in his POV and like reading his thoughts. Absolutely terrible. And the last thing we see is Malta and Rain, and she is pregnant, and they're worried like about their child, like if it even like is born, and if it's born alive, they're worried if it's gonna be like marked by the wilds or whatever it's called, because they are not, like, those kids are not supposed to be left alive, basically. And obviously, like, some parents choose to keep their children alive, but usually they don't, and like they, you know, are worried about the future of their child. But they both agree that they will like keep their child no matter what it looks like. And that is pretty much what I've read. And so I feel like not that much has happened, but I'm intrigued, especially like about the stuff in Kelsingra, like what are they even hearing? And also very interested in like what Rapskull said about the memories, that I guess they have to get those elderling memories to become full elderlings, maybe, because like the dragons have the memories from like past dragons, so maybe the elderlings should also have the memories of past elderlings. And yeah, I don't know what the voices or whatever they hear are, but that's creepy, and I really like that. And yeah, like I said, seeing Hest being beat up, super fun. Being in his head, absolutely horrifying. And yeah, I'm liking it. And oh, I think I forgot to mention that Left Turn is planning on like taking the trip back to like where they started the journey to like get his payment and also supplies to then bring back to Kelsingra. And he's planning on leaving like tomorrow. So there's that happening. And like he wants to take Elise, but she doesn't want to go back to anywhere where like people will know her from like her past life. So she doesn't want to go. And yeah, I think that's everything now. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm not obsessed with it because yeah, not that much is happening, but like what is happening, I'm enjoying. So there's that. And again, it is so much shorter than I expected, but I'm going to read around another third and I'll be back. Okay, so I have made it to page 274, which is a little under 2/3. And it's been a month since like what I last told you that happened. And Rapskull finally takes Timara to Kelsingra to show her like what he was so desperate to show her. And basically what he wanted to show her were like these statues with the memory stone, and he tells her that like they are supposed to remember those memories, and he tells her to like touch one of the things and they, you know, get into a memory. And at the same time, Sintara is like, she actually has been like practicing to fly, like, but only at night when no one can see her when she fails. And apparently while Timara is like in the other memories, she can't feel her, so she thinks that Timara is dead, and she's really pissed because she lost her provider of food, basically. And she thinks that for some reason it was like another dragon that killed her. And so she is like really pissed, and suddenly like she is able to actually fly, and you know, she starts flying, she actually is able to hunt. And while that's happening, Timara is like in the memory, and the memory that she's in, she's like with Rapskull. They're like living the same memory, and they're like living the memory of two elderlings who were having sex. And then like when they come back to their bodies, Rapskull is like kind of taking advantage of that to have sex with her. And I hated that, by the way. But then Timara actually realizes that Sintari is like drowning. So she is like, running and trying to find her dragon. And like that's all we get from like that part of the story. And then with Leftrin, he finally gets to like where they started their expedition, and he has a meeting with the council, who does not want to like pay what they're owed before Leftrin like gives a full detail of like what they found, but he wants the money before he reveals anything. And he like gives a letter to Malta, a letter that Elise had written. And then at night, Malta like really wants to talk to Leftrin, and so she and Rain are on their way home, and she asks Rain to go get Leftrin. And he does. He goes to get Leftrin, but Malta, while like she's going home, she like starts getting into labor and like just out, and there is like a guy there, and she like asks for help, and the guy takes her somewhere, and I was like, this is gonna go so wrong. And so apparently that guy and another one, they take her to like an inn/brothel, I'm not entirely sure, and they basically want to kill her and or the baby or both, and just sell like parts of their skin, like the parts that will have scales, as dragon meat to like that duke that wants dragon parts. So no, that's happening, and the baby is born, and Malta actually manages to like kill one of the guys, and she escapes with her baby, and that is the last thing that I have read. And I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it because I feel like nothing is happening. Like the only thing that got me like, excited or like intrigued or whatever in this part that I've read now was like this part with Malta that was like, stressed. And the rest, I was just like, reading. And like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. And honestly, there are a few characters that are like pissing me off. Characters that I used to like. So there's that as well. And I thought we were gonna get more like about Selden. He didn't appear at all in this second third, I don't think. So there's that. And even like with Kelsingra, like we did see memories, but we didn't really learn anything new in this part. So yeah, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it for sure. And yeah, the only part that I was like, really into it was this last part with Malta, because I was stressed for her. But honestly, it was also resolved very quickly. So, but yeah, that's what's happening. So I'm gonna go into the last third, and hopefully, more things will happen. Because like in the previous book, the last third was crazy. So hopefully I will have a lot of things to tell you, a lot of exciting things to tell you, and we, learn more things like progress in terms of the plot. So yeah, I'm gonna finish the book and I'll be back. Okay, so I finished City of Dragons, and in this last third, now that like Sintara can fly, she gets to Kelsingra, and she and Hebe, who is Rapscal's dragon, they get into like some water baths, and they like change, like they grow, they become more traditionally dragon shaped. And Timara and Rapscal, they also get like in that water, and Timara's wings, they also like grow and change, and even Rapscal, like some of his features, like some of his body also change like in that water. And then they get back like to the others who are still like not in Kelsingra, because the other dragons can't fly, so they can't get there. And they tell them like about what they found, and like how it helps their dragons and how it helps them as well. And Elise, like, she doesn't want them to touch anything in the city because she wants to document the city as it was. She doesn't want anything changed because that will like ruin her research. But they kind of have to, like, they need to, especially the dragons, they need it. And they decide that their priority of the dragons is to learn how to fly, to at least get to Kelsingra, because once they do get to Kelsingra, in there they will like get better, they will get fitter, and they will like be able to fly better just because they will be better shape. And so their priority is going to be like learning how to fly to get to Kelsingra. Then you also see that Malta runs with her baby to the Tarman because she like doesn't really know where to go. And when she gets there, like the ship, which is a life ship, tells her that her baby needs like the help of a dragon to like fully develop, because like the baby's parents are elderlings, they were changed by a dragon, and now the baby himself needs the help of a dragon to be able to develop in the proper way, or it will die. And the life ship, being, you know, connected to dragons, can help the baby like survive until they get to Kelsingra, but the baby needs the help of a real dragon if it wants to actually develop and, you know, survive in the long term. So they get on their way to Kelsingra faster than Leftrin wanted, because Leftrin wanted, you know, to get the payment, to get everything from the council that he didn't get. He wanted to like get food and clothes and restock everything that they needed, which they don't really have time to, but also like he knows that the baby is gonna die, so they decide to go as fast as they can, and so they are on their way to Kelsingra. And then we also see Hest talking with his father, and his father wants him to go get Elise and to also kind of get Cedric, because like if they have found Kelsingra, which is an elderling city, which they know has like a bunch of elderling artifacts and riches and stuff, like if they have found that, he wants Hest to take like what's Elise's and also like to take what's Cedric's, because Cedric found it while being employed to Hest. So he said that it all kind of like belongs to Hest, so they will be even richer. And so he wants Hest to go find them, and so Hest is also like on his way kind of to Kelsingra. And the last thing we see is like Tintaglia. She is very hurt, like after she was attacked, and she knows that like the elderlings can like help heal the dragon, so she is on her way like home to where Malta and Rain are, but like we know that they're not there anymore, so she is on her way there and she will find that they are not there. But that is all that happens, that is how it ended, and let's go into my final thoughts. So starting off with the characters, and I guess starting off with Elise, I'm kind of disappointed in her because she's been one of my favorite characters since the beginning of the series. And she kind of started annoying me in this last book. And that is like so sad, because I was always happy to follow her. I was always excited to follow her POV, to just follow her like in her life. Even like nothing major was happening, I was excited to follow her. And now like she started to kind of annoy me. And like I get what she's saying, like I get where she's coming from, but also she's kind of annoying me. So that's kind of sad. I hope she gets back to the character that I love to follow. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with her. On the other hand, Cedric has definitely grown on me, and I do like to see his life with Carson and his like bond with his dragon. And Timara, I continue to really like her. She continues to be one of my favorites. But I hate like the whole thing with Rapskull. Like he is pissing me off. Like he's really bothering me, and I don't know how she deals with it, because I can barely deal with it myself just reading about it. Like I want to punch him in the face. So, you know, and like even Tats, like he was better before, but like now he's also pissing me off. So that whole thing with them, that whole situation, I hate, but I do really like Timara still. And Sintara also continues to annoy me, so there's that. But there are a bunch of other dragons that I do really like Relpta and Merkur, even Hebe. I really like some of the other dragons, so like it's fine. But Sintara is the one that we follow the most, and she continues to be a real bitch. So there's that. And I never thought I would be like as excited as I was to follow Malta and Rain, but I feel like that was the only part of this book that I was really like interested in and like excited really to follow. So, you know, and that is just a problem in general, is that I feel like this book, like nothing happened. Like it was very slow when things were happening, but most of the time nothing that relevant was happening. So, you know, the part with Malta and Brain and like their baby and like them running, and the part that like now they're gonna need a dragon, to save their baby. Like, that part is interesting. I was excited, but the rest is just like, what even happened in this book? Like, I feel like this book could be just an extra 100 or 200 pages in like another book. I don't understand why this series needs to have 4 books while all the others have 3. Because, like, it's not like these 4 books have more plot than the other series with 3. You know, like, why is there an extra book if nothing is going to happen in that extra book? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why it has to have an extra book. It could be just 3 books, and the 3 books would be more exciting because, like, more would be happening in each of the books. So, yeah, I feel like this book was kind of unnecessary to be like just its own book. It could be like a little bit in the second book and a little bit in the last book. And this book didn't need to exist. Because, like, yes, we learned a bit and we saw a little bit of magic, but like mostly the plot didn't really progress forward that much. And also, like, this stuff with Selden and the Duke. Oh, also, I think I forgot to mention that in the end, like, the Duke did taste a little bit of Selden's flesh and, like, he did feel better. So there's that. Like, that plot I was also excited about, but we only saw like a little bit at the beginning and a little bit at the end. And, like, I wanted more. I just wanted more from everything in this book. I feel like I just wanted more. So yeah, I didn't hate the book. Like, it's not like I hated the book. I didn't hate it. I still like the world. I still like the magic. I still like the characters mostly. So I still like had a good time. I just feel like, you know, nothing really happened. So yeah, it was okay. Sadly, I didn't love it, and I think I'm giving it 3 stars. And I'm hoping the next one, which is the last one, will be like more exciting. I feel like it has to be, like, this is the last book in the series, so I feel like it has to be more exciting. But sadly, this one is gonna be just 3 stars. And yeah, that is everything for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Bye!